Hi guys, welcome to my movie fan channel. My name's Tyler. Today's review is going to be for episode 4 of WandaVision. If you guys are new to the channel, make sure you give me a thumbs up down below and hit subscribe and the little notification bell. That really helps out the channel. And also make sure that you share the video around to all your friends and family on Facebook, Twitter, and all the other social media outlets. This episode starts with Monica Rambeau in the hospital, and she is coming back from the snap that happens in Endgame. So these dust particles form around her and come and form back together, and she's in a hospital where there's just pandemonium going on because it's happening to everyone else as well. Now, we saw that in Spider-Man Far From Home. They did it in like a jokey way where they're like kids playing basketball and poof, there they are, appeared back on the basketball court. But we've never seen it like this, and it was such a dramatic scene, and it opens this episode, and you're like, oh my god. You immediately know when it takes place also because of that event. And I guess her mom died during the blip, so she's asking, where's my mom? And this nurse that knows her is like, she died 2 years after you disappeared. Her mother was Captain Marvel's friend. She had now passed away, but not before founding S.W.O.R.D, which is this organization that handles threats up in space that might come from other sentient life. And that organization sends her to go investigate this town called Westview. She gets there, the town is surrounded by this big energy field. Also investigating this scenario is Jimmy Woo, who's played by Randall Park. He was the FBI guy that was assigned to watch over Scott Lang, Ant-Man, when he was on house arrest. Shortly after this, Monica is sucked into the energy field. Then we cut to Darcy from the Thor movies, who was the scientist, played by Kat Dennings, and she is recruited by S.W.O.R.D to investigate the energy field around this town. Darcy picks up this signal that is broadcasting WandaVision, the first couple episodes, as we have seen. So S.W.O.R.D and the FBI and all these agencies are also watching it on this crappy beat-up old style TV, black and white TV. That was actually the end of episode 1, where somebody was watching on the monitor, and it turns out that it was them. So this whole episode, they're identifying people in the background of the show, they're putting them on a whiteboard, and they're like theorizing about what is happening and what's going on. They know that Monica isn't under the spell because she wasn't when she was talking to Jimmy. So they're like, well, she might be different. Let's see if she will act out in any kind of way. And when she finally does, we see that she gets launched out of the energy field. This episode goes through all the other previous episodes 1 through 3, and it's from another perspective. So we see the helicopter that Wanda picks up that's red was a S.W.O.R.D drone, and the drone changed to be like a kid's toy. We find out that Jimmy Woo was the one that was calling out to Wanda on the radio, asking her, who's doing this to you? And then S.W.O.R.D sends a man in a hazmat suit, tethered to the people outside so they could yank him back out if they ever had to. Well, that cord turns into a jump rope, and his hazmat suit turns into a beekeeper suit. And he comes out of the sewer, and we see that from that perspective, as opposed to WandaVision coming out and watching that guy come out. And we see Wanda's reaction. She's kind of like, oh no, that's an outside person. I thought that Randall Park and Kat Dennings played off each other really well. They were really, really funny, as they always are, but together they worked really good. I think those characters just clicked. So things do take a serious tone, though, and when Monica mentions Ultron, Wanda launches her through the wall, through town, and out of the energy shield, and she goes flying onto the yard, and all the sirens blare like we've seen, but we get to see that scene continued, because remember, it like scratches the record and like goes back to a alternate version of how the scene plays out within that town, in that little world that it looks like Wanda has created. And we actually get to see the other side of that, where she is pissed and she's got her powers going and she throws her out of there. Definitely looks like Wanda is in control of what's happening, and that was really badass. It was pretty creepy too, how pissed she was, and it seems that she's like controlling everybody, puppet master style. When Vision walks in and he's like, where did Geraldine go? You could tell something's wrong with him. Something's wrong with Wanda too. In just one expression, Elizabeth Olsen showed sadness, mourning, and disappointment, because as we know, Vision is dead. When the camera pans to him, he's dead. And I like that creepy shot that they gave, and it was like kind of like a jump scare a little bit. And I also like the song choice that they play at the end of the episode. They play Voodoo Child by Jimi Hendrix. This is my favorite episode by far so far, and I just like all the alternate perspectives that we got on scenes and episodes that we have already seen. I like getting to see characters from other movies come together. It was kind of like a sidekick Avengers team up. And seeing S.W.O.R.D and the FBI speculate on the episodes as the audience has been speculating week to week was really funny. And I thought that was a cool thing that they incorporated, that they threw up their whiteboard theories that they were writing down. And that's another reason why I'm so glad that this comes out. And The Mandalorian has been coming out week to week so that people can discuss and theorize about what is happening in the show. I really appreciated the scariness that they went for with showing Vision in this episode. I hope we get more of the horror element into the MCU, and I think Multiverse of Madness, the upcoming Doctor Strange movie, is going to be an opportunity for them to do it because it is directed by Sam Raimi, and he has a foothold in superhero movies with the Spider-Man trilogy, but also he's done movies like Evil Dead, and he's efficient at both horror movies and superhero movies, so I think he should bring the two together, and I think it would be awesome and kind of the perfect melding opportunity. And if anybody was going to do it, it would be probably Sam Raimi. It's rumored that WandaVision is going to tie heavily into that, whether Wanda's in it or not, or it just sets up the events that happen next. I am excited to see what's going to happen going forward, and I do love this show, and I'm still intrigued, even though we got some answers, I think, as to what's really happening, but I'm excited to see where the story takes us. So let me know what you guys thought of this episode. Let me know what you thought of this video, and give me a thumbs up down below, as I said earlier, and make sure that you share this video around on social media, and make sure that you hit the subscribe button and the little notification bell. That's important so that videos don't fly under the radar and not hit your sub box, because that's been happening sometimes. But I will see you guys in the next video.